So our amazing, great Minnesota Vikings just came off one of the worst losses in franchise recent history, losing to the 0-10 Detroit Lions, following the 5-7 on the season. And my love, my support for the team is just all over the place, and we got to blame somebody. We got to figure out what's the reason. Why are we 5-7? I spent way too much time on this pie chart of blame. I spent way too much time thinking about different percentages, go here, here, and here. Anyways, pie chart of blame. Let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree. Love to hear from both sides. Love hearing from you guys in the comments. I'll try to respond to every single one of you. Question and answer video. I've been trying to get this going for a while. Leave questions down below. I'll shout you out in the next video. It should be coming out later on this week. I'll put your comment up on the screen right here. I'll answer your question. It could be life, NFL, Vikings, anything. Ask anything. Pie chart of blame. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm assuming most of you guys came to this video to hear me say Mike Zimmer 100%. However, we are going to be giving a majority of the blame to Mike Zimmer. It's not going to be as much as you guys think. I put Mike Zimmer at a healthy 60% on the pie chart of blame. Now, my reasoning for this is mainly because the lack of attention to detail. And that was the number one thing with the Vikings, and this may have me being recency bias with the Patriots and Bills game just ending last night. And the last play of the game, the Patriots backup to the backup, corner or second, I don't know if he was corner or safety, but he was a third string guy. And the Patriots went zero blitz, and Josh Allen had Gabriel Davis and Cole Beasley pretty open. It was high wind, so it was definitely hard to get the ball to him. But when he made that play, or when he made the throw, the backup of the backup, the third string guy, came across, swatted it down. And that's the attention to detail in a winning organization. When you have the third string safety come in on just the last play of the game, he wasn't playing the whole game. It's not like he knew going into the game, like, yeah, I'm going to be the starter. This is my chance to shine. He just stayed ready. And if you look at the Vikings play this past Sunday, this is why I want to compare them. Cameron Dantzler. I mean, if you guys have seen this clip, if you've seen this play, it is hard to believe that Cameron Dantzler is trying. I have watched this clip over and over again, and I understand Xavier Woods plays his part in this play too, but I watched Cameron Dantzler over and over again. There's just no attention to detail. That just shows a team where their coach doesn't have everybody just locked in all the time, 100% of the time. And also my problem with the Vikings comes to coaching too. There's no identity. It is December 7th and I'm recording this video, and the Vikings have zero identity. And that causes guys in the locker room to question what they are. You know, the Patriots' identity is they're a chameleon. They can adjust to anybody. Listen, the Bills, they're not good against the run. We're going to run the ball 45 times. I'm not going to put my rookie quarterback in a position to make a mistake. Where it seems like the Vikings, they have been trying to balance this, like, oh, we're really aggressive, but we're also a power running team, and we still come out in an I formation on first and second down. There's just new true form of identity, and that falls on the head coach. And this has been kind of the problem for the past couple of years. But for just this season only, I would put 60% on the blame on Mike Zimmer. All right, now we're going to get to the GM. I'm going to give 10% of the blame on Rick Spielman. Only 10, and this is because I think Rick Spielman overall had a good offseason. I think with what happened last year and the kind of turnaround we had on just the talent on this team, I think it was significant. I do think he did a great job this offseason, bringing in Pierce the year before, but Tomlinson, drafting Darisaw, I thought Camp Bynum was a good pick. But the thing is, we have still so many holes. Our corners, Dantzler and Gladney last year, they're nowhere to be seen. I mean, Gladney, obviously personal issues, but Dantzler, nothing is what we expected. He is, I don't even think you can play him anymore. The cornerback group has no depth at all. The linebacking group, I thought Spielman had done a good job of kind of bolstering that, so we didn't really see the effects of it when they were hurt. But that's the thing, like the Vikings, their first string and their second string guys are okay. They had some stars. But then when you get to like the position groups where they struggle, like center and guard position, it's just a huge drop off. And I get that maybe because of the Cousins contract, but I just thought Spielman, just with the way he's kind of conducted this roster, I just think, and it comes back to the point of having no identity. If you're running offense, you go get a great O-line, you go get some receivers who can block. But if you want to be this aggressive offense, which they have the personnel to be, you go get receivers, you go get a great back, you get a good quarterback who can get the ball out on time. It just seems like the Vikings, like, they try to, like, be everything. They try to almost, like, be a power running team, but also being, like, this West Coast offense and super aggressive. And it's just, again, it's just this identity crisis that the Vikings have. So I would have to put 10% on the GM for not, I mean, the Vikings third stringers and all these 6th and 7th round picks the Vikings have that are supposedly good, and that's why we trade back in the draft every year, they just don't show up. Like, I'm sick of seeing 6th and 7th rounders like such as Oli Udoh roll out there and left tackle thinking he's a project. Just doesn't make sense to me. All right, and the last 30%, I gave 60 to Zim, I gave 10 to Rick Spielman, but the last 30%, I'm putting it on the quarterback. I'm putting it on number 8. And I understand a lot of, there's a lot of Kirk defenders out there, and I think a lot of them just love looking at the numbers because, listen, it's an easy argument. It's a really easy argument on why the Vikings should keep Kirk Cousins or why Kirk Cousins is not to blame. You could just easily throw out 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3,400 yards, 3 or 4 game-winning drives, and yes, he has been good this year. And I'm not here to debate this. I'm not here to debate Kirk Cousins' right arm. He has a great arm. He has a great... he's a very good quarterback. That's not what I'm here to debate. But it comes to situational football. For example, on the Adam Thielen wide receiver screen at the beginning of the game, the corner was in press coverage, which means they're right up on the line of scrimmage. They're in his face. They're sitting down on that. Normally, the check for the quarterback, if they're in press coverage and it's a wide receiver screen to that receiver, first off, you never throw that. That's just it's just a waste of a play. You check out and you give him a 50-50 ball. That's what the read was supposed to be. So there's 2 things. Either Cousins is a 10-year veteran in this league and he can't read when a corner's pressed up on a wide receiver screen, you're supposed to take the top off and take a shot. Or the Vikings just don't give Cousins the ability to do that, which I really, if that's the case, then I don't know if I can be a Vikings fan. If they're not letting their quarterback check out of stuff, I'm not going to be a Vikings fan, which I find that hard to believe. I think it's more of Cousins, just the inability to, I think everybody, we view him as a smart guy, but really how smart is he in situational football? And because that's just a situation where, yes, would Thielen go up and grab the 50-50 go ball? Who knows? But the point is about taking the chance and just not wasting a play. And my final point on Kirk is, if you're looking big picture with Kirk, you're going to look back on his career and you're going to be like, wow, he threw it at 70% completion, probably averaging around 34 touchdowns a year, with like around 6 picks a year, 4,000 yards a year. And you're going to be looking back and you're like, God, Kirk Cousins really had a great career, big picture. But if you want to not compartmentalize it, but if you want to look at it situationally, in big situational moments, he is just not that guy. And I think a lot of this has to do with being a leader. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a good leader. I really don't. I think he almost has this, it's not like a narcissistic thing. I just think it's he's making $33 million, which is way more than anybody on the roster. There is an ego to that. It's just a natural ego, and I think he lets it show sometimes. He's not like the guy to go out and buy the expensive thing, but I think sometimes he walks around a little smug, and he walks around kind of like he is better than everybody because his stats are better than everybody's stats. If you look at just Kirk Cousins, maybe not Jefferson because he's second in the league in receiving, but at his own position group, Cousins is probably putting up the second best numbers on the entire roster. And I think there's some smugness to him. And when the other 52 men in that locker room who are alpha males, these are big guys. These are guys who have perfected their craft in their art. And I just don't think he can lead them where he can rally that group. Because going into Detroit, there are injuries. Everybody has injuries right now. You're going on the road in the division game. It doesn't matter. Cousins just can't control a locker room where it's the energy where you would die for each other. And I think that starts at the quarterback. If you've played sports in your life, you've been on teams where the chemistry is crazy and you're fighting for your brothers. And, even if you guys are losing, you're still going out there every game and playing your ass off because you're playing for your guys. You're playing for your boys. You're playing for your brothers. And then you have the other side of it. When the chemistry may not be good, and you can still respect and like him. I'm not saying the guys in the locker room don't respect and like Kirk Cousins. I'm just saying they wouldn't go to war for him. I'm not saying when push comes to shove, they wouldn't take a bullet for him. They're not brothers like that. They're teammates, and that's the problem. The Vikings are a bunch of teammates, and they all have to go to work and do their job together, and I don't think the chemistry in there is really that strong, and that starts with the quarterback and also the head coach. That's why they're taking up 90% of my blame right now. Let me know what you guys think down below in my pie chart of blame. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skol Vikes.